Video game adaptation movies are one of Hollywood's biggest topics of conversation throughout the last 25 or so years, with how it has become a meme at this point that most adaptations simply don't turn out well. Recently, that conversation has started to change quite a bit with certain adaptations that we have gotten. One of those adaptations is around the character of Sonic the Hedgehog, who is now going 3 movies strong at this point, and we just got the trailer for the 3rd Sonic movie, and it looks like a lot of fun. But there is one thing that not enough people are talking about with regards to this movie that we are going to discuss in this video. If you are new here, welcome to my channel, Film Obsessed. If you are someone who's been looking forward to this movie and likes the Sonic films, give the video a like and subscribe and join the film community that I'm trying to build on this channel. Sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's jump right into it. So like I said, video game adaptations onto the big screen have been very hit or miss. Recently, that narrative has changed a lot with many adaptations, one of them being the Sonic films, which I would consider to be the most consistently talked about video game movies and adaptations that we've probably had in the modern era, with how far along those movies have been around since the first one came out in 2020. There is a massive fan base around these movies, and I think we are in for another potentially very fun ride with the 3rd film. I myself like both movies. I don't think that they are overwhelmingly great films that I would go back and rewatch a lot, but I see where so many people have had a lot of fun with them, especially kids, given the movies are very clearly directed at kids. The movies themselves have been widely praised by some people as the best video game adaptations that we have ever had, at least when it comes to films. To this day, I think that it was a very good idea that they turned this property into a film as opposed to, say, a television show, because it just works better there. There are just some video games out there that are way better on certain media formats like a film, and I think that Sonic works best for that format. But like I said already, we are on now to the 3rd film in what seems to be a potential new franchise in the making. I think most people will agree that everyone's going to be talking about Shadow as the newest character coming into these movies as the villain for this film, as well as the fact that he's being voiced by the great Keanu Reeves. Just based off the trailer alone, I think he looks awesome and a great villain that can have a nice backstory to him, as shown by a couple of scenes in the trailer, but also what he's going to look like in action against the other hedgehogs. People have been waiting for this moment for years now, ever since that Shadow was teased at the end of the 2nd movie, but then factoring that in with the rumor that Keanu was potentially going to be voicing him. In my opinion, I think that is a great pairing, and I understand why that's getting talked about more than just about any other thing. You can include in the fact that they are officially bringing back Jim Carrey to play Dr. Robotnik, who was the villain for the last 2 films, and it just shakes up so much of what could potentially be happening in this film. Jim Carrey openly stated that he was not planning to come back for another film unless he was absolutely compelled to do so under a great script, but it seems like the pressure caved to him and he wanted to come back for a 3rd one for what seems like a good guy role now, as he pairs up with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in terms of him needing to help fight Shadow. He also seems to be playing 2 roles in the movie as Robotnik, but then also an older version of his character, I think. I apologize. I don't really know the lore of Sonic at all, so I apologize if I'm completely misinterpreting who this character is exactly. So at this point, you're probably all wondering and anticipating what it is exactly that I need to talk about with regards to what I personally believe not enough people are talking about. It doesn't even really have much to do with everything inside of the movie as much as it has to do with everything outside of it. I'm sure you probably all noticed at the end of the trailer that we did get a date for the movie for December 20th, just before Christmas for the movie's release. That right there is the thing that more people should be talking about for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, when people think of a holiday release for a movie, they think good things, and they would be right to do so. More than not, it usually is the case that if you are releasing a film around this time, it means that the studio has good confidence in it. The last 2 films released in February and April, but this time around they are going the holiday approach with the 3rd film, and I think that speaks volumes. For one, it's smart in the sense that it allows for the movie to potentially make a whole lot of money at the box office. Many holiday films do really good given that scenario, especially when they open up on a certain day around that holiday. If anything, I'm almost kind of surprised they didn't think to just open it straight up on Christmas Day, which is a Wednesday this year, and have it go into the weekend. I think both release dates are fine to go on. It's just something that I noticed since other movies have done that before, where they open on a Wednesday before the actual holiday happens. The second reason why this this is so big ties into the first reason, and it's around the fact that during this time, everyone and the family comes together, and Sonic is very heavily tied into the family vibe of it being a movie that you could take your kids to see with the whole family. The last two movies increased in their box office numbers, and I have a feeling because of this very thing, we are going to see this movie skyrocket up and potentially do better than the last one. Animated movies and movies that are directed at kids recently have been doing very well, and that is something that I've already discussed in a video that you can go and check out on my channel, which talks about movies like Despicable Me 4 and Inside Out 2. Those two did really well at the box office recently, and I think it's just a good time to see movies that can focus towards the kid audience do well again. I have a feeling that Sonic 3 is going to continue that trend and more through the end of that month going into January. I think it is very genius and smart decisions like this that need to be considered more for movies, because a lot of people don't realize, but release dates do matter. I think this shows extreme confidence in the film, and the trailer itself was showing me exactly what I think they see and how it's going to capture a lot of the audience that they know it targets, which is kids. I'm sure adults will love it too, so I have a good feeling about this one as another new video game movie coming our way. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my trailer commentary for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Again, I wanted to make sure that I discussed both topics of conversation around this one with regards to the trailer itself, but then also the thing that I think more people need to be talking about to get themselves excited for the movie, which is that release date and how it's cultivated itself around that holiday of Christmas. What do you think of this and my commentary on it? Let me know down below in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new here if you would like to see more videos about film on my channel. That's a wrap, folks. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you soon for the next video.